Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unicorn Games Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video? What's it all about? Well, the Monday painting video is essentially a painting video, but the model or models in question are voted by you guys, my viewers, from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a wiki Q&A. I'll show you guys a host of models in that video, and you guys vote what you would paint for this Monday's paint video. So for all my regulars, guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so this week we have the Plague Surgeon. There is a Death Guard Plague Marines here as well, but I just try to keep it simple. So if this one wins, I'll roll it again between the two of those. We have the Jackals here, but again, 8-bounder got a vote as well. So if these guys win the first dice roll, then we roll dice again for split between them. And the Space Marine Eliminators. So 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. Now, if one of the first two wins, then I have to roll it again, split up again, roll it again because of the other guys. So here we go. 5. So Eliminators, Space Marine Eliminators have been painted up. Nice. So I'm going to get these guys set up and get my wet palette set up and come back to you then with the first colours. Right, so I still leave to the base. As you can see, gets a nice little look to it. I'm going to go for the wet palette. We've got some Youth and Grey, some White Scars and Corn Red, my chapter colours, some Lead Belcher, some White Scars and Rhinox Hide to start with. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Youth and Grey, I'm going to paint all of the cloak. Again, I'm not going to do all this on camera, so just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just one nice thin coat. I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of the guys. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to come in with some Corn Red. And I'm going to pick out the other side of my chapter colours, well, one side of my chapter colour, just to start breaking this model up nicely. And then you just do all this on camera because you guys have seen this chapter colour before. So I'm going to go off camera and do the rest. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some Screaming Skull and do the other side of my chapter colours. There isn't much to do. Hopefully it's only a couple of thin coats that I need to take. Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole lot, I'm just going to touch a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go off camera and do the rest. Right, so I might need to come in with a third little coat of the Screaming Skull afterwards. The next thing I'm going to do is get some Lead Belcher. These guys are wearing eyepieces. Now you take note I haven't painted the helmet because I think the helmet should just be dark, not because they're hooded, just because they're like special Black Ops units. So I'm going to pick out all of the bits that should be silver, including their weapons. I don't know if I should just dry brush the weapon or if I should just leave the weapon black but paint certain little parts of it, like the magazine clip for example. So I think these units that are infiltrating, right, they're Space Marines, so they don't really care, you know, for how it bring it on and all that. But I still think to some degree the weapons are going to be sort of not hidden, but just sort of disguised a little bit. So I'm going to carry on with few bits of silver. Did I do his back? He's got silver? I don't know. Anyway, right now I'm going to come in with some iron oxide. And I'm going to pick out all the little pouches that they have on them. So it only has one, I think. Yeah. Sergeant has more. Sergeant's legs are just laced with them. So I'm going to pick out all of these. And then come back to you afterwards. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some white scars. And we're going to go crazy on this now. I'm just going to bring it in. I'm going to slap it on the cloak, but I'm not slapping it everywhere. I'm not slapping it any particular way. My aim is, any bits that I'm not happy with, like this little streak down here that's quite dark, just whack some white scars on it and lighten it up. Maybe I should have done this before I've done the Space Marine armour, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to crack on and do the rest of that. Right, so I've chucked some Retributor armour on the wet palette. I'm going to come in. I'm going to get the little bit in the middle here. One thing I forgot is the little vents on there. I'm going to do those as well at the same time. Right, so my regulars are going to know what's happening next. Contrast paint's coming into it. However, instead of just whacking one contrast colour over the cloak, I am going to wet blend two contrast colours together. I've done this before a long time ago, and it worked really well on Chaos Cultists on their cloaks. Can't see one at the moment. But yeah, it works really well on their cloaks. But there's a little trick to this. You don't have to use two colours that are very close, okay? Because when I paint my Tyranids, the blue and the Telazar blue and the Fallopius pink, I think it's called, as they hit together, it goes like a nice purpley colour. So you don't have to use two colours that are very similar. But I'm going to, on the cloak, I'm going to use Creed Camo and Eldari Emerald. Now the trick is, you start with the darkest colour, okay? Because I don't know the chemical formulation or anything like that, but the darker colour seems to be heavier. So it goes into the darker recesses, and the lighter colour seems to stay on the top. Well, that's what happened when I painted the cultists. So I'm going to start with Creed Camo. I'm going to come in, I'm going to start slapping it all on. No problems, just slap it on. Now you could just go with Creed Camo and be done with it, and you know, with the highlighting you've done with this, well, I've done with the Skull White and with these white scars and the Youth and Grey and that, it really does really pick it up nicely. But I'm going to go off camera and slap the rest of it on this model and on the other two models, and come back to you then. Right, so as you can see, it's still wet. So I'm going to come in now with our Eldari Emerald, start slapping that in as well. The two colours wet blend together nicely. I have a little bit too much there. You can already see it starting to, you can see the lighter green of the Creed Camo in Eldari Emerald. Again, I think I've got a bit too much on there. I'll take a bit off. Let's leave that to dry now. Of course I missed a bit. So I'm going to crack on with the other two. They're still wet. Right, so these guys are now about ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them beyond battle ready. So I just see the green's still a little bit wet, but you can see that lovely little transition between the light and the dark. I'm going to take them beyond battle ready standard. The first thing I'm going to do, right, okay, beyond battle ready standard could be a dry brush, could be an edge highlight, could be taking a colour that you have on there and taking it further, putting, you know, a few layers onto it. Could be dry paint, could be, you know, just loads of different bits and pieces. But the first thing I'm going to do is take some Troll Slayer orange, and where I painted the eyes silver, I'm just going to come in, because he's wearing goggles, so they stand out. It's about a bit too much, or looks a little bit silly. I don't know, we'll soon see. That's pretty cool. He's got goggles on his head, so just paint a little bit of. Just to give it that nice little look. Now what I'm going to do, I've got some Wazdaka red onto the wet palette. I'm going to come in and layer up the red I have here. So my regulars will know this part. Just come in and just start laying it in. Now it looks a bit weird when you first put it on, but Wazdaka red is a layer paint, so it will dull itself down. This gives you a bit more definition on these guys. And I'm not going to do all of it on camera. There's a little tiny bit so you can see what I'm doing. Right, last thing I'm going to do is come in with some Nimba Green. It's a dry paint. For those who've never used dry paint before, it looks like that. But as soon as you put some on the brush, yeah, it's sort of like a really weird thick paint. But as soon as you put it on the brush, it comes on nicely. So what I'm going to do, brush some off onto my tissue, and I'm going to gently come along, just give this a little dry brush along the ridges. And the creases of the cloak, I'm going to give it a quick dry brush. It's going to really accentuate the area a bit more. There's some really nice, easy camouflage looking, without having to really do too much work. I think that looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to do that to the other two guys. And there we have them. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I really like these guys. I'm glad they're painted now, to be honest. The only thing with these ones, they come from the Imperial magazine. So there's two models that are exactly the same. So I positioned the head differently. So, but yeah, when you buy the box set, you'll have 3 individual different looking guys in different poses. So massive thank you to everyone who voted. Even if you voted for something that didn't win this week, doesn't matter. Everything has to be painted. If you're new to the channel, guys, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube share this video with more people to make this amazing community for you guys grow even more. Thank you all for watching. Any comments or anything, as always, chuck them below, guys. Until next time, take it easy.